I'll start us off this way here tonight. This week, folks. I've been getting a lot of emails to be a dispensary associate. For I guess a medical marijuana store nearby. I don't know how that goes. I couldn't fucking tell you if that was something that I could do, especially if I don't partake. I'm not sure if that's something I would be like allowed to do. Do you think that would be? Do you think that would be a bonus or a detriment to working at a dispensary? Do you think they're like, nah, you don't get the culture. You're not going to get hired, or is it going to be like, well, we definitely know you're not going to steal anything, so we'll hire you. Is that like maybe something like a bonus to them? I don't fucking know.
Hemp oil, rope, bongs. You want it? It's yours, my friend, as long as you have enough nuggets.
Well, that's all the answer I need, folks. Welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo podcast. I'm John, and I'm hosting right now. And with me this week, it's Maverick. Maverick, how are you doing?
It's me. I'm here. I am actually really okay,
All right.
It has been a very busy week in terms of getting a new job, and getting into the hang of that, where it really has just been a case of like, okay, initial day, really just a shock factor of, oh, I guess I'm doing this now. All right, let's go and let's get this all set up, to the end of the week where it's like, all right, I'll be tired during like the ample peaks of my day because I'm working with children. But by the end of the day, once it's like actually time to wrap shit up, I actually have enough energy to do stuff now. And that is very good to recognize, especially in the long weekend that I have coming up, that I can just chill for a little bit, at least physically.
Well, I am glad to hear that you got your new job. That is always a bonus. But there was one thing about it that I think you specifically wanted to talk about on the show. Is you went and saw a film recently?
I did. I saw a fantastic piece of cinema.
A
just
major
really
motion picture event.
major. You know what's back? The movies.
The movies.
I went to the movies. And we love the movies, folks. I went to go see Boss Baby, Family Business, or better known as Boss Baby 2. I forget that there's a fucking subheader to this, because who the fuck remembers? It's Boss Baby 2. Just fucking... yeah, so today we took a trip to go to the theater and check out Boss Baby 2, because that came out today, and, I'm probably going to have a riveting review of Space Jam when that comes out. And it is just, oof. One way to have a reminder that the movies are back is to go and watch movies that you definitely did not want to put on your plate at all. Because let me tell you, as someone that did not watch the first Boss Baby, it was an interesting experience to recognize, oh, there's lore. There's narrative here that is substantial to an extent, and at the same time, going through that movie, realizing that this is a case where multiple hands were on this project, and some hands wanted to say, hey, this is, for all intent and purposes, a fairly fun premise. What if this kid's a shitty little baby brother turned out to be very important in the world of babies, in the through line of Kids Next Door, in the through line of like a kids rule mentality, that makes a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. But then there is also the hand of, I'm not sure which departments, but someone in there going, yeah, that's fine, but are the kids going to get it? Do the kids understand jokes? Is this going to be funny for them? Are they going to be bored? And just inundating a lot of these very specific characteristics and takes for a film
Mhm.
and just bogging it down with having to have that mile a minute stack of content, not necessarily jokes, not necessarily humor, just content. And that leaves me in a position where it's like, yeah, that didn't suck, but I'm trying to think whether or not I would have rathered it be better or worse. And that's the first time I can think of a movie leaving me so middling in the experience?
Right. I will say though, you said that you have not seen the original film. I guess it would also be safe to know to think that you have not seen any of the Netflix original animated series as well.
No, I have not. I forgot that was even a thing.
So your review here is going to actually be null and void because you have not experienced the entire Boss Baby franchise. So you don't understand all the lore, you don't understand all the references, you're not going to understand why it's so important that Boss Baby does what he does in this film. I'm sorry, but the community is just not going to stand for this kind of review.
I just want to take my time to say, Boss Baby did call me for real, and he's disappointed in me, and I
Okay.
will take my time to review my statements, and it's good. I'm out. I can bring him a latte. the, these were the signs that are just appearing all over the fucking subways
Mhm.
right now, because that's the only. It is a fun game to play in terms of recognizing how hard the pandemic hits. Is realizing the first things that are immediately getting like subway ads again, and the Boss Baby ads have been the fucking pinnacle of it.
Mm.
They have been on their shit, and it is fucking okay. So yeah, no, to get myself acquainted, I recognize like, oh, this is a fucking, yeah, brother and his baby brother doing like an adventure or whatever. I didn't realize that this took place like 20 years after the fact of the original movie. I
Yeah,
didn't realize that there was a he
he's
is
an
an
adult man
adult.
now.
He is
Yeah.
an adult man. His child, he has children of color. It's very nuanced and very woke.
Mm.
But fucking the whole it's a dad movie. It very much is a dad movie, and that is weird in it is weird in aspects of where the narrative goes, because the whole bit is like, oh, it's like I'm a dad now. It's such a cool job. I get to do all these fun things. Jimmy Kimmel, I think, is like the kid now. Oh god, I gotta fucking cast and characters of Boss Baby 2, because that's where my life is at right now. Because why the fuck not?
Of
Yeah,
course.
or sorry, no, James Marsden plays fucking the motherfucker Tim Templeton, everyone's favorite character, Tim
Mhm.
Templeton. And so the whole bit in the beginning half is like, yeah, things are going great. Here's where everybody in the first movie is and what they're doing now. And there's a bit where I guess there are like three kids that were like tattletales or something in the first movie, grew up and became cops in like the third movie. And there's a whole thing where it's like it's a rule of three where they go, oh, someone's busted, but it sounded like they're saying bustin'. And
Mm.
that was just amusing to me, the Neil Cicerega.
Of course.
Yeah. But yeah, the next setup is, oh yeah, I never talk to my brother anymore because he's too busy being a billionaire and a class trader. And well, of course he's not going to say he's a class trader. He's too busy being a bootlicker. But that's neither here nor there. My I'd never talked to my brother. We are estranged now in the more than 20 years that we have known each other. And I guess that my little daughter is in that phase of, oh, dad, you're embarrassing me and I don't want to do shit with you anymore. And I don't know how to deal with this, even though I'm an adult man and I'm trying to figure stuff out, I guess, even though my whole job is to be a fucking stay at home dad. Dipshit. Um, No, oh my god, I'm getting mad at this dude. But anyway, cut to the part where it's like, oh, I didn't realize that there was a fucking magic wizard lamp that he had. That is like the reason that he is able to fucking communicate with the boss baby. And it turns out that this time his younger daughter is a boss baby and is also voiced by Amy Sedaris. So it was very funny going, oh, this is Princess Carolyn. Princess Carolyn is in this movie and she's doing her whole bit. Because I guess this is Amy Sedaris' whole bit. And at this point, my brain is like going a mile a minute because I also have 4 kids next to me trying to like ask for so many different things. This is a pinnacle of an experience, you know. John, stop me if you ever have any questions. You know, I want to make this an immersive movie moment. I want to give you the movie magic up front.
No, this all makes sense to me so far. I would just say, right now, I just want to ask, you know, I'm gonna ask this like up front, just because I think that's kind of the important part. How'd the kids feel about it? Did they like it? Did they have fun with the movie?
Some kids liked it. Some kids were the kids that weren't crying and yelling about wanting to get popcorn because we did not actively plan to get them popcorn, and that's not a fault on me. That's a fault on our system. And to go further into that would leave me not in a means to want to talk shit. You know, I like my job,
Right.
and I will just the things that I bring up, I will
Understandable.
bring up when I need to.
Right.
The movie itself was enjoyable for the kids, you know,
Okay.
and there are points where I did find myself like, okay, yeah, like I said before, if this were given by like a group that was more willing to trust the kids in the theater, I think there would be very clever scenarios and set pieces because there is a lot of ground that is laid out. Do you want to know who the villain in this one is?
Society?
Somewhat. The
What is it?
society is the front, so the whole mission is, oh my god, your like Tommy Timmy Turner look like motherfucker. Your daughter is having a hard time at this gifted SJW school. I say gifted SJW school because it feels very much in one way about the way that education is going right now, but she's going at the school for gifted kids and it's really taking a toll on her. Go see what the problem is. And it turns out that the principal, who is voiced by Jeff Goldblum, is actually a baby in like a human man suit and a human man robot. And his plan is to turn all the adults into zombies, basically, into like mindless slaves, and for babies to rule the world because he taught babies how to code, and they were able to code every major app that is running on the platform right now. And so he is coding a hypnosis app for the parents to use because it's like a phone app or something, I guess. And also, the fucking Jeff Goldblum baby looks a lot like fucking Kitty Kong, and I can't stop thinking about it. It really fucks me up.
That is really fucked up.
It's really fucked up. I need you to picture Kitty Kong right now. Donkey Kong Country 3, Kitty Kong. And imagine Jeff Goldblum's voice. The weakest Jeff Goldblum performance, I gotta say. Just very much phoning it in. This is him in like a Skype interview.
With Jeff Keighley, yeah.
On a Zoom call, just like saying these lines,
Right.
which
Oh,
in
God.
one part makes it kind of, which in one part is like very amusing because it's like this guy that's just like, yeah, you know, we're gonna have the baby revolution. It's gonna be fantastic. We're gonna have a great time, in a way where it makes sense that he would play foil to Alec Baldwin doing his whole 30 Rock shtick. In another world, I definitely do think the baby would be voiced by Donald Trump.
Mhm.
Like, he does the little lip thing. Adult Boss Baby is terrible. I hate looking at Adult Boss Baby.
Mhm.
It is awful. They did like a silhouette shot of like, oh, here he is in his big setup, and then he actually comes through and it's awful. He has a chin. He has the worst hair. He does the lip thing still, and it's like, oh, I've never wanted to kill a man more than adult boss baby. And I God, there's also a point in the movie where it's like, since through the power of baby technology, I guess, they de-age uh the brothers so that they can infiltrate this school. And
Right.
in part of that is like the dad having to go like meet his little kid, like getting to see his like daughter do well in school and like try and boost her confidence that way. In one end that would be endearing, and it very much does its best to come across that way, but at the same time I feel like a lot of script writers and a lot of just the narrative of film has lost an understanding of how to do that in a not Back to the Future one way, intentional or not. And so there's very much this weird experience of seeing this interaction where it's like, are they just supposed to feel confident or in each other, or is this a case where the daughter is kind of like into him? You know what I mean? There's no actual delineation of, hey, you're pretty cool, I would like to be friends with you. It's this weird middling ground that I probably am reading too much into, but at the same time it's kind of like I can't think of other movies that one have to touch this premise. I don't blame movies for sticking to things that are a lot more grounded and a lot
Right.
more plausible, but at the same time it's like, if you do want to do this thing where it's a case of someone getting a chance to empathize more with their kids' struggles, doing so in the guise of like a complete stranger, there has to be a language to do so in a way where it doesn't feel like weird. And I don't know, this doesn't hit it. There's also a very, in hindsight, kind of just like fucking. At one point, they just have a scene of Spirit, Stallion of the Cimarron playing, and they just like crash through the screen that's playing it. And I don't know, that just felt weird. That was just like, man, that was a movie that said something, and you kind of just like plowed right through it. I don't know what your intention was there, but goddamn,
That's yeah. I don't know what to tell you, but
a lot of
a
music,
lot of
a lot of
music.
music too. Goddamn, there
This
again,
seems to
like,
be what DreamWorks just does these days. They love to drop the needle on stuff, as it were. I mean, that's why they made that Sing movie. I think they were just kind of like, yeah, we do
oh,
this enough.
that was Illumination, but
That
even
was a
then,
fuck.
that was Illumination. But and here's the thing: I saw the trailer for Sing 2, and I'm just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this feels like a team that at least is understanding how a narrative works. Even if it is just like a bunch of dipshits together for like a music contest, there's at least understanding that you need to have like struggle, that you need to have like narrative drama, and that like the whole big thing of this one, I guess, is going to be like, you're the old legend music guy and you don't play anymore, we wish you could play more, but your wife's dead, I guess, and I think you might be voiced by Bono because the title song is fucking still haven't found what I'm looking for, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, no, like even in the lead up to the film, seeing something that actually looked like it was providing stakes felt very weird then to go into something where it's kind of just like, not even that it required stakes, but it was just like, I just want you to. If I could actually make a case to vouch for this movie, I would say, like, damn, I wish that I could feel like I could tell you what was going on in a beat for beat basis without having to pause and think, oh yeah, and then there's just like 5 seconds of Alec Baldwin singing Strangers in the Night, because it's funny to see a baby sing an old song, I guess.
Hmm. Well, thank you for the review. That was way more in depth than I think the film deserved. But
I give it a solid. I don't know, man.
all
If you got a
right,
kid, if you got a kid, if you know someone with a kid, it won't be horrible. I
sure.
definitely know. It'll. My immediate thought in the lead up to this was I feel sorry for every camp counselor or teacher or person that had to look over a child in the time that Delgo came out.
I mean, the good news is I don't think any of them went to go see it anyway. So
Let's hope. Let's hope. Otherwise, there's gonna be more kids that are into Delgo.
there shouldn't be any. I don't think there are any. Um,
Well,
something that you brought up though, I am going to say, is something that I've been thinking about recently. Um, and it's I think something that like creators of cartoons and just in general, like media in general for kids, um, it's something that they seem to want to do, but I don't know if they're doing it well. Is that they want to have shows that are, good for kids, but also won't bore adults because they want adults to watch along. And I think it's very easy to lean a little too hard onto the adult side because, also, adults are going to buy all the merch too. If you just got some nerd man who watches it by himself, you know, he's going to buy all the figures and shit. He doesn't have to worry about only buying one. He's got a job. But I don't know. I've definitely seen a lot of people be like, we made this a watchable experience for adults as well, and it's like, I'm sure that is something that if you do it right, it's great and it's a good thing to do because you want it to be an experience where you're not just throwing something on the TV and walking away. It can be something that you and your kids hang out and watch TV together and enjoy things together that aren't just, throwing it out.
yeah, fucking the key to making something that transcends age gaps and is very much enjoyable for everyone in the audience. You make a good story. The same kids that are watching Boss Baby are also watching fucking Naruto and Demon Slayer.
Mhm.
Because that's for them. As I am finding myself often saying nowadays, look up what shonen means.
Yeah.
Look up what these words mean that you keep using. Because guess what? This is what you get when you do storytelling. You do something that is first and foremost a good story, and then you focus in and say, who do I want this story to be for? And that will marry the concepts together so that you get something that will be good and not just a thing where your kid will like it but you will feel like you fucking aged in a hyperbolic time chamber for 107 minutes.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know when
John,
I'm
what
gonna
have
go
you
to the. I don't know when I'm gonna go to the movies again. I want to go see a movie. I just don't know what it would be.
watch the Clifford the Big Red Dog movie that's coming out?
No,
Did you know that they're setting it in New York?
I did see that, which is a choice, I guess.
Is a
I'm.
choice, but even as someone that lives here, that's just dumb.
I mean, it's just gonna be more jokes about how, oh man, there's not enough room for the dog, because the whole point of Clifford, I remember as a kid, was like, well, they just went and lived on the island, and there were big places for Clifford to live, and so it wasn't really a problem.
Yeah, you fucking lived in Massachusetts. It was no issue, but also, teach get out of share, whatever.
Yeah,
Kenan Thompson is in it. He makes a joke about, oh, this dog's big. What the dog doing?
what's the
Dog
dog
big.
doing?
What that dog doing?
I'm looking at movies that are out right now that I could go see in theaters. And yeah, I don't want to watch any of this.
You do want to watch Fast 9.
See, my problem is I haven't seen the other 8 ones, so I'd have to watch
Well,
those
you know
first.
what? We're gonna go ahead and make our side project of Fast Boys. You heard it here first. Patreon exclusive.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I'll watch those movies. I'm fine with watching Fast and Furious movies, but also at
Hell
the
yeah.
same time, also at the same time, I don't know if I want to make it content. You know, sometimes I just want to watch a thing.
And that's totally fair.
Well, let's see here. What the fuck else is going on though? You know what happened this past week that it happened like right when we were recording, so you know, obviously I couldn't talk about it, but now I can. There was that Smash Brothers update and Kazuya Mishima was added to the game and he is pretty cool. I like him a lot.
Hell yeah.
Uh I'm not gonna say that I'm like gonna play as him a whole lot. You know, there were some DLC characters that I enjoy a whole lot more than him, like, you know, Terry or Pyra and Mithra, and like, you know, there's a lot of characters in that game that are really really cool and up my alley, and like Kazuya is definitely not like my type of character, but I really like having him in there, and the fact that he has like a 6-page list of moves is rad and very funny, and he's just a welcome addition to the game. Um, played a couple rounds online. Um, you know, still a good time. You know, even though it's not like a great online experience, it's still fun. Um,
Yeah.
the music they added was really good.
I saw that they added a fair share. I'm
Whole
just
lot.
scrolling through on the actual showcase because, damn, the stage. I appreciate the use of the stage because,
Mhm.
you know, if anything, I always do appreciate whenever a character comes into Smash because it is very much a, you know, like at this point, Smash very much is a like legacy preservation material.
Right.
A lot like a lot of its DLC. You know it. The reason that some people will definitely get very protective of, oh, this character needs to be in Smash, this character deserves to be in Smash, is because of the fact that, you know, it is more than just the character themselves. You get the stages, you get the music, you get a lot of this stuff that is incorporated because even with these presentations of just like the character showcases, you know, it's a lot of work to say this is a character that is from a game that a lot of people hold near and dear to them. And here is just like a lot of the ins and outs of what this series is so that you could get launched on board and just like really like dive into what the rest of it is all about.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I still think it's very funny that they got rid of they didn't put Heihachi in purely
Oh
because he
yeah.
doesn't have the devil gene, because they were like, we want to have someone with the devil gene because that's way cooler than just having a karate guy, and that's funny. I do
We
think
already
that the
got him.
devil's
That's Ryu.
yeah, and I mean, like, I do think that the devil stuff does add quite a bit to how Kazuya works. Um,
Right.
you know, he's got that big devil jump. You know, Sakurai's probably sitting there like, damn, Heihachi can't do a double jump. That's not something he could do. You know, that's just like that's the kind of way that Sakurai like thinks. You know, like I remember in interviews him being like, well, we're gonna put the Excite Bike in, but Excite Bike can't double jump. So we couldn't put Excite Bike in, and it's like just make it jump. Who cares, you know? Like it's just he's so like slavish to the details, and like sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's frustrating, and sometimes it's really cool. You know, that
Very
is just how he is.
specifically, yeah, just the tier list of Smash characters, potential Smash characters based on whether or not they canonically double jump.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. You know, that'll be a big chart. The jumpers and the non-jumpers. Yeah, like there were so many people who were like arguing that they should put Captain Toad in Smash, but then they were like, no, they can't. He specifically doesn't jump. That is his whole thing is he doesn't jump. So if they put him in Smash, that ruins the character. Like
God, this is
that's the kind of shit I love, you know?
this is how you finally tell the Geno heads to get it out of their system.
When does Geno jump? Huh? Come on, I've never seen him jump.
He jumps in this cutscene. If you try and fact check me, I will fucking slit your throat.
That is 100% how it would go. Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
But yeah, no, it's always awesome because I can always tell that Sakurai is like a big fan of fighting games.
Mhm.
Have like in the whole setup of like, Scrimble Bimblo and Sword McCool guy, or the delineation of those things in terms of what a Smash character is often looking like in terms of DLC. It's funny when the occasional thing of like, oh right, Sakurai likes fighters
Mhm.
is like as a reminder that comes up, and he just really gets into it.
Yeah, I mean, he was talking up how much he loved Fatal Fury in the Terry reveal. You know, he's just talking about how much he loved those games back in the day, and I mean, I'm sure he doesn't have as much time to play as he would like, but you know, it's very obvious that he keeps up with all this stuff, and I mean, hell, he definitely has to have at least some knowledge of like Tekken and all that if he decided to work with Bandai Namco on Smash for the past two games. You know, it's he definitely knows his shit. Um,
Yeah.
so that is really cool. It's always very fun to see Sakurai flexes his gamer muscle, especially when like he talks about Tekken in like a better way than a lot of other people talk about Tekken and about like 3D fighters in general, like talking about how it's more about spacing than anything else. Like that is 100% the case, and you know, like he just lays it out there like really basic, really easy. Um
Yeah.
so yeah.
Oh god, I like looking at the spirit board and him just going, okay, so for the Heihachi mission, there is a with the Heihachi DLC version and without the Heihachi DLC version, and I
Mhm.
love looking at that bootleg Heihachi.
It's very funny.
Uh,
Um I did not buy the Heihachi me costume. I mean, you know, because they didn't include music in there. I have bought all the ones that had a song Sakurai, so that should have told you something. I would have paid money for song packs. I would have bought all the me costumes if they came with music.
oh, that
Like,
would be such an easy. I would be surprised if like even in the onset of this being the last this upcoming DLC character being the last character, it would feel ridiculous for them to not just keep doing song packs because there is always the need to be like, okay, I could always like play Smash, but also, what if I did just do it to the fucking theme song from like my immediate thought is, why don't I do this to the theme song from Gex? I don't know the Gex theme song, but like that's the thing, like just give a lot of options for like letting people do these matches, because half the time like it is on its own Smash Ultimate, fun game, you get everybody on board. It's definitely a good call just to keep that music updated for the sake of giving people options, if anything is going to keep getting updated in that game.
yeah, I mean, that's what I thought, but they kind of just immediately stopped at Smash for Wii U. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It does really sound like they just want to be done with the game at like once the last character is done.
And that's
Um
fair. The it is weird to think about Smash in terms of, in what extent is it going to be a finished product? When will we stop having Smash? Because I feel like it is one of those like things that's taken for granted. The idea that like this, and I guess partially influenced by games as a service, but at the same time, it's like Smash has been out for a while, for nearly like 20 years at this point, more than 20 years at this point,
yeah.
and for a lot of people, that is most of their lifetime. And
Yeah. So
for
most of
other
my
people,
lifetime.
yeah, exactly. Fucking, it is weird to think of a state of not having Smash, but at the same time, there are plenty of people who can still come around and be like, yeah, games are done. Games have conclusions in terms of their development cycles, and not everything gets a sequel, even if it is successful. So,
Mhm.
and especially, like, at no point should this be a thing that comes at the cost of Sakurai's fucking health.
Yeah. It's a very frustrating thing, we talk a lot about like how bad crunch is and um speak out against it, but it's tough when like Sakurai's crunch is very self-imposed. Like dude is out there playing the game by himself, like using two controllers at once, and that's just because he doesn't trust anyone else to know it like he does, He doesn't trust anyone else to make a Smash game like he does. And it's like it's so frustrating because it's like, dude, just let it go. Like Smash can continue. Like Sakurai is so important, and I love what he contributes to Smash Bros. But like, I would so much rather there be Smash Bros. Without him, or no Smash Bros. Ever again, for him to just like not have to do that to himself. That's the case, and it's just like he's just doing it to himself. But I I really hope that now he will take the time to relax, because it sounds like for the longest time he was doing these this is such a crappy thing to say in a way, but like for the longest time he kept working on Smash as like for Iwata basically, and now that Iwata isn't here anymore, like is he going to just keep pushing himself like that? Is he going to keep doing these big games, or is he going to do something else? Because like yeah, like it basically sounds like Smash Ultimate was almost like a deathbed request from Iwata to Sakurai. Like it was like right, like Iwata died like right around when the Switch like became a thing basically. So it had to have been like really last minute. um it was, yeah, it's real frustrating, and you want him to do something, but it's gonna take someone like just like physically sitting in the dude down and being like, bro, stop it. But like he's like so senior, it's like it's like telling your boss to quit it. Like what, how's that gonna work? um
Yeah, it's a tough case. And
yeah.
listen, I want to make sure that we still get Kid Icarus Uprising remastered. So clock's ticking, Sakurai. No, but in all seriousness,
Yeah.
yeah, just very much like it's cool, but also you do not need to work yourself like this, man.
Yeah.
You've done enough. Go find your passion again.
Yeah.
Go and let the legend come back to life.
Yeah, go and make another weird reboot game, and make everyone fall in love with another franchise, because yeah, dude seriously just like made Kid Icarus a thing again, and like I would 100% want a new Kid Icarus, and that is not something that I would have said before Uprising came out. Um but
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. That was the Kazuya rundown there, I guess. I know that wasn't too much talking about Kazuya, but it was, at this point I think you kind of understand how a Smash Bros character is, Like I think like the thing that is kind of frightening to think about is that like this character very well may be the last Smash Bros character ever. Like there is always a chance that there will be a new game, but there is also a chance that they really don't come back to it. Like if Sakurai doesn't want to come back to it, will Nintendo just be like, "All right, well if he's not doing it, we're not going to do it," Like there's a very good chance that this might really be it, and that is just such a weird feeling, I would have never thought to feel something like that, but well, there it is.
If there is any way to go out, I'm glad that he's doing it by just giving us the main character from Moon RPG Remix.
finally.
Hell yeah. Guess what? All that music, all that good shit, it's in the game now.
Yeah, you know what? Just put all those like Onion Games OSTs in there. We need shit from like Rule of Rose and uh whatever else they've Dandy Dungeon, Tulip.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you got
Get you
Tulip uh spirits.
Tulip Final Smash, he does a big kiss on you.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go over some news because the news was kind of crazy this week. God, like right after E3 and everything's still going nuts. Um, First off, let's see here. We got some information from let's take this a little. Let's kind of go back and forth here. Let's go into this part. Uh, so Sony has started to announce things, I guess. Um, there's a bunch of rumors that there is going to be some kind of big uh PlayStation stream of some sort to be basically their E3. Um but I guess to get ahead of it and also to because it was leaked by the ESRB, uh Sony has announced that there's going to be a director's cut edition of Ghost of Tsushima. And they sure did announce that it is going to be a full price release for $70 on PS5 and $60 on PS4. And if you bought the game previously, you gotta pay $20 to get the director's cut on PS4 and $30 to get it on PS5.
Fuck off.
That is a lot of money.
Wow. Ooh. If you told me that news when I was a middle schooler, I would be using words that I don't use now. Because, oh my god, that is... You... In the advent of game prices having to surge as a... Well, not having to. Costs choosing to be inflated for the case of, like, this is a new console. This is the new norm.
Mm-hmm.
It is definitely a decision to say, hey, for this standalone version of the game that's got some extra like knobs and bits to it, we're going to make you pay full price for both versions of like the next gen and current gen consoles. Not even that it's like a flat 60 across the board, that they're saying like, oh no, this is standard retail value on like everything, and so you pay attention accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
You pay the extra $10 for that fucking ray tracing, I guess.
Here's I guess what they are adding. There's a new area. Iki Island. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, no, it is. Okay, Iki Island. Yes. You will travel there to investigate an invasion by the Mongols there and get caught up in events with deeply personal stakes that will force the main character Jin Sakai to relive traumatic moments from his past. They are also adding adaptive trigger support, drastically improve load times, and they are fixing the Japanese dub. They're fixing the lip flaps in that, which is really funny, like really stupid and pathetic, but also really funny.
God, I still don't know where I stand with the vibes on Tsushima. Like, a lot of people I hear tell me it's a beautiful game, and I believe it. I will believe that it is a well done game in terms of its visuals. Even with the concept of fucking Kurosawa mode being very, very silly to me. Like, I get the vibe it wants to go for, and I think it gets there, but just seeing Japanese lip sync as a fucking selling point on this $10 to $20 upgrade, depending on if you just solely upgrade or buy the full price version at the fucking $60 to $70
It's
retail
$20
value.
to $30.
20. Oh my god, you're buying an island expansion and the ability to make sure the lip flaps are done correctly. And more.
And a bit more. Yeah, I mean,
I
this does seem like a bit of an upgrade, but that is a lot of money to be asking for something like that. And, I feel like it's like, the good news is that it'll probably drop in price, and I bet there will be a way to, like, that's the thing, is that so far it seems like PS5 games haven't really been dropping in price like substantially. Like I've seen like, oh, Demon Souls is like $50 now instead of 70. But at least the good news is that they are still releasing this on PS4, and there's like an upgrade path. So like there's probably going to be a time in a few months after it comes out where you can like pick up the PS4 version for $10 and then just like the Game of the Year or Director's Cut version for $10, and then just like pay an extra $10 to get the PS5 version. So it's like, oh, I spent $20 on this, whatever. Instead of being like, oh, I had to drop $70 on this bullshit. It's like, I don't know. Video games are expensive. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. $70 is too expensive for video games. I don't like it.
that is several meals that I can purchase.
Yeah.
Instead of one video game.
Yeah.
Do you know how many Gatorades I can buy with that?
That is like a tenth of my rent.
Yeah.
It's well, actually no. It's a little less than that, but like not very. It's like maybe like a 12th, but still like I don't fucking know. You're asking for way too much. It's too much. Buy your games on sale, please. Please. Let's see here. There's another bit of news here. The final speaking of things that are too expensive.
Yep.
Final Fantasy Pixel Remaster. They have announced when the first 3 games are coming out, and they also showed some gameplay. The first 3, they got Final Fantasy Uno, Dos, and Tres. Those are coming out July 28th on Android, iOS, and Windows PC via Steam. They don't have any release dates on 4, 5, and 6, but I'm guessing they're probably going to be throughout the rest of the year, probably pretty quick, because they're probably all done. And also, the graphics look really nice, I'm gonna say. They do look really cool. They have updated pretty much all of the graphics. They're all 2D pixels. And they have also touched up the soundtracks with Nobuo Uematsu working on that. They also have like little bonus things like a bestiary, illustrations, a music player for each of these games. But the thing that people are hung up on, understandably so, is they have also updated the user interface, and the font is really bad.
Oi, 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 oi. I really do appreciate just getting the press kits for this, because of the fact that it really just sums everything up in terms of what people are getting excited for, because I see it, enemy designs look great. It's nice to have this. This is specifically a image of what from looking at the sprites is Final Fantasy 1, and yeah, it's good to see the expansion on this very very simple layout of just like you're in the town and suddenly pirates attack you and you're with your homies and you gotta defend everything. But wow, it is like there is a lot of blue screen in that user interface that you could easily fill up with text. It is. I don't know if it's skewing further into graphic design as my passion or further away from graphic design as my passion.
Totally.
Like, oh my god, I feel like it'd be easy to just replicate the original style of those original games, or use it. Again, I assume that this is the font that's being used in other Square Enix games where it works because of the fact that everything is laid out to accommodate that. But then to go back and work and remaster on something that did come out at a time where there was very limited data to work with when it came to putting your game on a cartridge.
Right.
Just a lot of good ideas in terms of preservation of the concept visually.
Mm-hmm.
But then yeah, like part of it is that UI, this is definitely a good case of recognizing, oh, I want my JRPG to look good too. I don't just, in terms of its menus, I don't want it to just, it could be visually stunning, but if I can't navigate the menus, then I'm going to have a bad time.
Right.
Like, say what you will about Kingdom Hearts, but when you go through those menus, buddy, that's half the game.
Yeah.
Like, don't tell me right now you're cycling through those 4 commands and you can hear the ding on the menu.
I mean, I'd argue the same thing for Final Fantasy. For a lot of these games, they are
very
their
iconic.
Menus. And yeah, I think that is also like another portion of that people are a bit upset about, is that they have kind of like flattened everything out and made all of these games kind of look the same. And it's like, yeah, Final Fantasy always, like, those first 6 games definitely had like an art style to them, but they had their own little flourishes, and like not just even in the menus, but like, to the characters, to the environments, to the monsters. And they have sort of evened all of that out. So I can see people being a little upset about that, but like I also, this makes me wish that this was just released as a single package, because I think that would have been less of an issue if it was just like, hey, we put all these together, it's one package, instead of being like, here you go, here they all are piecemeal, because they are releasing them piecemeal, and that is the big crazy problem with it. Is if you want to buy all 6 of these games, it is $96.
I like that this is more than the big fucking update of Ghost of Tsushima.
It's more expensive than a PS5 game.
More expensive than a PS5 game.
This is they say that the individual games will be priced between $12 and $18, which is so stupid to me. It is so absurd that they did not just put this on a single cartridge, on a single CD. Even if it was $60 fucking dollars, that still probably would have been too much in my opinion, but like that's better than 96. Like, nobody's going to be going out of their way to, like, I talked about this during E3. Nobody's going to go out of their way unless they like have a proclivity to like already wanting to play this game, or they have some kind of nostalgia, or they think it's funny. Nobody's going to go out of their way to get Final Fantasy 2, That game's going to sell like shit.
Yeah.
Why did they even put the effort to remake it, to remaster it? Because if you don't put it in a bundle with the rest of them, nobody's going to give a shit. Like, what are they doing? Like the part of me that is like, okay, yeah, sure, it's a good idea that they remastered all these things. It's good to keep these in rotation. Yes, that's good. But they are not doing it in a way to actually put it in people's hands and have people appreciate them well. Because the only people that are going to be paying this kind of money for these games are people that already like them. Nobody's going to be like finding out about Final Fantasy this way.
Very bold to do so in a way that differs from the way that people can technically say they own Devil May Cry 2 and Mega Man X7 right now in terms of their legacy bundles.
Like, but I think that's a great thing to do, because you know what? One of these days, I'm gonna fucking start up DMC2. I'm probably not gonna like it, but I'll try that game someday, And everyone who buys that, there's at least a chance that they're gonna try that, and then they'll be able to articulate why they don't like that game. It won't just be, well, blah 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 said it was bad. Like,
yeah, no,
it's worth it.
Yeah, no, if you provide a shitty game, if you provide me with shitty media to actually try out and give me the means to equate and provide nuance to my stance, I will appreciate that. because I would rather have material to say, oh, this is why I don't like this. This is why this sucks to me.
Mhm.
But otherwise, this is very easy to look at and go, well, do I want the. And even in the sequential thinking, if I were someone that had no prior knowledge of Final Fantasy, and I was looking at the prices and going, like, well, 1 and 2 are probably, assumedly, going to be $12. And maybe 3 is like the first $20 one, I would be more inclined to pick up the more expensive one if based on the idea that, well, this is the one that's better than the other two. Because if I
Right.
buy the first two, those run me fucking $22, $23. Like, it feels roundabout, but at the same time, the idea that this costs more because it's better is definitely a mindset for some people that go about their experience on like video game hunting or video game buying.
Totally. Um, but yeah, I mean, I really just think that they should have just put this in some kind of collection. It's a weird idea that they did this, and I mean, they'll make their money, I guess. And I mean, they will probably eventually go on sale, and I mean, hell, the PC versions, they'll, if they are going to have, if these are going to play well, then it would still be worth it to pick it up, and then you could just like mod the font. Like that's something that someone will do day one. Someone will change that like immediately. That's not going to be an issue. Um, but who knows? Who fucking knows? This is just such a weird thing, and yeah, hard to say why they are even doing it at all at some point. Um, Maverick, tell me about how you're feeling with Neo. You've been playing more of that.
Yeah, I've had the chance to get my hands on it a little bit more, and ultimately, like, God, the most recent exposure I've had to just like at this point I will call stamina focused action games has definitely been an interesting way of like looking at my general I would say my general like gravitation towards resource management in terms of like how often I play role playing games, how often like every now and then the spirit will move me to play Civ 5 or something. Like I ultimately find resource management, when I'm able to pronounce it correctly, I find it to be the thing that is definitely a factor in a lot of the games I play. And Neo has been really interesting in the way that it really bridges these gaps between being that kind of resource management, but also still giving me fun to just go apeshit and doing so in a way where I can definitely say, like, okay, this is different from Dark Souls. This is doing its own thing. And that's been a lot of fun to me.
Mhm.
And just like, both games definitely, or to equate it to the original Dark Souls from what I have played of that so far, both start very similarly in terms of protagonist is imprisoned and a lot of it is a focus on a prison break. It's a good idea to put your game in a prison break because guess what? It's fun to break out of prison. This is endorsed by me and the podcast, personally speaking. Make sure you break out of prison if you are able to. The mayor of Metro City did it, and that rules. And no, so you go on that prison break, and this is how you learn the controls. This is how you learn how to do your attacks, and just guiding you through because it's like, yeah, fuck these guards up and get your way through, and immediately just like very, very instinctually teaching you like you got to be aggressive to an extent, not definitely closer to a Sekiro form of aggressiveness in terms
Mhm.
of you've still got that stamina, but you can swing. It's the inclusion of enemy stamina that really sells that deal for you, I think, where you can see that bar drop and dropping in more ways than just hits that they block. and that decreases their bar. You can like I've had a lot of success tiring opponents out, like goading them out, trying to get them to run a little bit, slash at them so that they can block, and just wearing them out so I could do like strong finishing blows on them. And that really has been a fun way to play with a lot of my features. And plainly, it's cool that I have a lot of shit to play with in terms of the variety of weapons. I think that the tutorial given really does a good job of explaining how stance is something that is not like it's very important, less in the way where you need to do this in order to progress at all. If you don't master this, then you're not going to go far. No, I think it does a better job of letting you actually get a feel for all the weapons that are at your disposal, because choosing from the fucking katana to dual wielding katanas, the fucking sickle and chain, the spear, which is different from the battle axe, which is different from like the simple polearm, like just giving a lot of variety on those options also just lets you think like, okay, I like to do low stance attacks with my twin blades, but then I like to just have my I like to have a pole arm on me because I like the middle stance strong attack that's just a simple jab forward. It's a lot more intricate with the way that the weapon system gets to play around, where it makes sense that you ultimately can pick up a lot of stuff, that you can pick up a lot of weapons and go, well, let me try this out, let me figure this out. And that ultimately I'm looking at my character build and I'm kind of the mind to just make it a little bit more laid out, making it just a bit more of a jack of all trades scenario, unless I immediately know, all right, I don't want to try out like this one this one weapon for the game because I'm not really feeling it, and I'll just leave that to the side. But then otherwise it's like, oh, maybe I should just know how to like work with a sword for now. Maybe if I am doing dual wielded swords, it would be good to have something that's a little bit sturdier. I could definitely pick up an axe and try and focus on those two. And it just does a good job, I think, of giving you more space to explore in a way where it's not like, oh my god, this is so hard, I can't beat this. It's definitely just a case of familiarizing yourself with the content.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know jack shit about Neo. I don't know what I would ask. I mean, I feel like this game has been talked about quite a bit over the years, so I feel like anything that I would ask would be like, what are the monsters like? And people would be like, bro, shut up.
It's cool. I get a fire dog. I'm rolling around with Arcanine, and I do Fire Slash when I activate Arcanine.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, if you were genuinely interested in looking into Neo, like I would definitely recommend it. And the thing that helped me really get into it was just getting that mindset of this will feel different from a Souls, because I know you have expressed your disinterest with Souls, and
Yeah,
the last thing
I will just say I've tried Neo before. I also didn't really like it. I just don't really dig that whole shebang, but I get it. I respect it. I know that people really like Neo as a series. I definitely think it's worth a damn. It's just not my bag. So I get it.
and that's fair, and I respect you for that, because I'm a normal gamer. I respect my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you.
Let's see here. So I've been playing more Chimney Christmas.
Oh, tell me about Chimney Christmas.
Oh no. Shh. I've been playing more Mario Golf. And that game is frustrating.
Oh.
It is It is not what you exactly want.
Go on.
So the base golfing is good. There is a base element to this game that is that is solid, that is still good, that is still Mario Golf. Is what you want out of a Mario Golf game. But there's these little tiny things. Just chip away. Chip, 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 chip. Just drag it down more and more. Things that have been frustrating me. 1. Speed golf. At first, I was kind of okay with it. Now, I'm sick and fucking tired of the speed golf. I don't want to run around anymore. I don't want to have to chase after my ball like some dumbass. I just want to play golf. I just want to play golf. And the RPG mode has so much of the speed golf stuff. It's so much. It is 90% of what you're doing. You are going to be running around with your stupid little me, making your little noises more than you're playing golf in this game. And that is not good. I would not say that is good. Second thing I don't like. I don't like how another thing in the RPG mode. I don't like this fucking cross-country golf thing that they make you do. It's really bad. It's really frustrating. I don't like it. What it is they basically have the entire the entire map open. So it's like, yeah, here's all 18 holes, or I guess, they kind of like cordon it off. So it's like, all right, now you have 6 holes here, 9 holes here, and you have to traverse this entire map to get to each hole. So it's like you land the golf ball into one hole, you just basically start from where you landed and you go to the next hole. You try to get to the next hole. And the reason why this really sucks is that there are cliffs that you have to get over. And you can't just hit the ball over the cliff. No, you have to get the ball onto a tornado, which will then propel the ball up over the cliff. And that shit just does not work. It does not work. It is not... The physics are not made to work like that. Because golf balls don't normally go into tornadoes in real life. And they did not seem to do anything to make that easier. So that sucks. That fucking sucks. That's what I'm doing right now in the RPG mode, and I hate it. I really hate it. And then the third thing, which I don't hate it, but I don't like it. And I understand why they did it, but I don't want it there, is they have made things so much more random in this game. They made it so basically, whenever you hit the ball, there is a chance that the ball will just kind of travel left or right a little bit. And that is just sort of a new randomness gimmick that they threw in, just so every single hit wasn't the same. Which I get. But it's really frustrating when the game just randomly decides, nah, you're gonna go super far to the left. You're just gonna hook this motherfucker. Bye-bye, you're going in the bunker. Even though I was aiming directly for the green. It's very frustrating, and it doesn't kill the game, but it's the sort of thing where, if I'm just online playing with my friends and we're all having a good time and yucking it up, I don't care. It's fine. It's happening to all of us. We're all fucking around. It's fine. But if I'm playing the RPG mode where it's just me and I gotta swing better than Charge and Chuck, and the game just decides that I didn't swing better than Charge and Chuck for no reason, just because it decided to, that makes me mad.
I get that, but also consider Charge and Chuck for a second. You're familiar with Charge and Chuck. You at home, the audience at home, just envision Charge and Chuck as you normally do. It's hard. I could believe that being a legitimate challenge if I were supposed to show my golfing prowess against Charge and Chuck,
Mhm.
Mr. Charging Charles.
Right.
But no, it sounds very uh I don't know. I've seen a bit of backlash against the game on Twitter, and to an extent, a lot of it does come back down to, I like golf games. Everybody's Golf was the last golf game that I played, and that is very much a thing of like precision to a T. Everything that you do can be as calculated as it gets up until you have to let that ball uh do its thing in the air and have to like deal with the grace of wind speeds.
Mm-hmm.
And if I remember correctly, like Toadstool Tour, the last Mario Golf game in terms of like console release, in terms of just like any kind of like thing really, was definitely a thing that was very much like mimicking that style of, focus on precision, focus on being able to get things down to that T. And the only factor of randomness is just like how hard the wind is hitting in this level.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, and seeing some video, I get a pang of like Wii Sports Golf, where there is somewhat is that focus on accuracy, but at the same time, it's like, well, you hit it too hard, and now shit's going all over the place, and your red marker is just fucking flopping around, and fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily to the same extent. I would say that I wouldn't say Mario Golf for the Switch is doing that to a T, but I definitely find it interesting that in this method it's kind of just like shooing you away from trying to secure that perfect shot every time. And on one hand I get it, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I like to be able to know that I'm gonna hit an eagle now that I've like lined up my grid correctly,
Right.
and just do that on every course, because that's like that is undeniably the second layer of challenge when it comes to golf games, where it's just like I'm able to actually coordinate. It's fucking like graphing for the dumb nerd in you.
Right.
All things considered, what is golf but just graphing in your head
Mm-hmm.
and getting pissed off at the wind every now and then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Again, it's the sort of thing where it's like I get why they did it. I guess my thing would maybe just be like maybe turn the randomness down a little bit in the RPG mode at least, like just
Yeah.
that would be something at the very least. If like I said, it doesn't bother me as much when I'm playing with other people because it's happening to all of us and it is just, us goofing around and playing a game. But for the RPG mode, it's like, okay, I can't progress in this game specifically because the game just decided to throw a curveball at me, well, quite literally. Um and that's frustrating that I have to go through that whole section again. It's like there's a time and a place, I guess I would say. Um
Yeah.
let's see here. There's more stuff that's going on. Um
Well, how life do keep happening.
Yeah, shit occurs. So I guess we can talk about our old I don't even want to joke about him being our old friend because Jesus, our fucking Intellivision patriarch Tommy Tallarico is going into fucking crisis mode right now. Um Dude has been getting called out for his console, the Intellivision Amico, for looking like it's a piece of shit, and for a bunch of stuff like not even leaking. There was some very public information that was just on a website that was easily findable if you just googled Intellivision Amico. Um and he was claiming that people were hacking him for finding that information when it was just online. And he went on to like the Atari Age website and is just like yelling about how everyone talking shit about the console is a commie or a gamer racist and all this other hilarious shit. And people also very easily found out that he follows a bunch of white supremacists on Twitter. So yeah, Tommy Tallarico, real meltdown July over here. Pretty
God.
pretty fucked up stuff we got here going on.
Yeah, big time Tommy Darkness version over here.
Mm-hmm.
Just oh my god. Again, like that initial setup for the Amico, again, this is supposed to be the console for Italians, and I really wish that it could have lived up to that mantle, but ultimately it really was trying to promise itself as something that I feel like a lot of people outside of actual game development, I recognize Mr. Tallarico's very, prolific involvement in games history as the guy that did the Roblox oof sound. And so I listened to a clip of Sonic Adventure recently, and I gotta say, Tails, when he's picking up an object, sound kind of similar. So I'm just saying, maybe Yuji Naka's got a cash to collect from Mr. Darkness Tommy. But, it is definitely interesting to see people try to create a console, and in the advent of doing so, there is a level of, I guess, ego and assuredness that, how hard is it to make a game console? People are on their phones these days. Let's just make the phones the console or the controller, and we'll have extra controllers ready in case you want to do that. I can make games. I can make games at $11, $12 a pop, not fully understanding the work, effort, and money that goes into game development, so that you create content that is more than just the fruits of someone that spent like a pretty decent summer in Adobe Flash. Rest in peace, Adobe Flash. But like, it is so funny to see this kind of a meltdown for someone that was just like, you just really were given a slot on E3 because they fucked up and couldn't find anything else, and you could have had a legacy as the guy that did better than the fucking NFT Roblox copy, but unfortunately you have to be a white supremacist to an extent.
Dumbass maneuvers.
We love to be a dumbass, don't we?
I mean, I do, but not like this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
No, this is not a fun way to be a dumbass. This is not. This is the dark side of White Boy Summer, which I guess is just White Boy Summer.
Oh boy. Let's see here. Do we want to bring it up a little bit, or do we want to keep it low and then have the last bit just be better vibes at the end? How are we feeling about that?
Yeah, if we're already on the train of Mr. Fucking anti-Tommy, let's go in it.
All right. So apparently Konami has teamed up with the folks behind Layers of Fear, Blair Witch, and The Medium, Bloober Team, and it sounds like they are going to be making a Silent Hill game.
Bloober.
I don't want them to do that. I have no horse in this race. I haven't played a Silent Hill. I probably should. But every single thing that I've heard about Bloober Team is terrible. The Medium sounds like a legitimately putrid piece of art, in which Bloober Team pretty expressly claims that people with mental illnesses should just be put to death instead of having people deal with them. And, they're just really bad at making video games anyway. So the fact that they're going to be handed the keys to one of the most legendary horror game franchises, which, to be fair, there are more bad Silent Hill games than there are good ones, but still, it's a real bummer. It's a real fucking bummer. And they don't deserve it. I very explicitly said on Twitter that I hope that they name search and that they see me saying that they're a piece of shit, because they are. Like putting out a game like The Medium with a message like that. I'm not afraid to mince words there. I think at the very least the writing staff and the directors of that game are bad people. I can very easily say that without any kind of worry on my conscience. So I don't think that they should be rewarded by making a game in a franchise that I bet they very much want to do. This is probably a great honor for them, and they don't deserve it at all. So that is that.
Yeah, oh my god, it is. The more I hear about Silent Hill, the more that I do just kind of recognize, like, is it, has it become one of those things that is fun to reminisce on and talk about as like, yeah, this is one of the things that we all grew up on. Like, man, I remember Silent Hill. I remember getting scared when Pyramid Head came and he did the thing with the dolls. Wow, that was, man, that was wild. And that's sort of like the lasting impression of the game, just a very half remembered cutscene from Silent Hill 2.
Mhm.
And it's unfortunate because I feel like there is a lot of nuance to the series in the way that, like, looking at Resident Evil and how that sort of, it is a series that is more or less, I think, finding its light again in terms of people recognizing, oh, I guess this was sort of more of a tongue-in-cheek horror as an aesthetic rather than immediately trying to get you like terrified. To try and compare Resident Evil to something like an Outlast is my immediate thought. Feels unfair to what the spirit of Resident Evil is in terms of it
Right.
trying to elicit a different feeling. Silent Hill feels like this scenario where these definitely are different kinds of narratives being created, but all the same, like, how many people will still talk about the dog ending in Silent Hill 2 and the other, like, there's still a space of like levity and enjoyment because that's kind of part of what horror is. It's being able to have those fears and actually have the space to explore them and eventually come to like
I mean,
have an enjoyment.
you
Yeah.
say that, but I feel like look, if you're listening to this, Silent Hill fans, and you get a little upset about this, this is just how I feel looking at it from the outside in. But I feel like that there is the one thing that I will say about Silent Hill fans is that I do think that they kind of have a stick up their ass at the very least for like the goofy parts. In that, like, I just think about how upset people were that they like added Pyramid Head to Dead by Daylight. Like, who cares? Like, it's fine. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, what does that do to the fucking legacy of that franchise that hasn't already happened? Like, it's fucking fine. He's just in. He's like, honestly, I just think it's cool. The fact that they're saying that like Pyramid Head is as iconic and a monster as like Freddy Krueger or fucking the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, fucking Leatherface. Like just that is. I would say that's like almost an honor, but I don't know. That's just I don't know. Again, that's me from the outside looking in. I don't know. Maybe there are reasons why people would be really upset about that, but I think that they should relax a little bit. But this this is absolutely a get up in arms situation for me. Like this is like
Yeah.
again, I got no horse in this race. If this was basically any other developer, like maybe not any other developer, but like 90% of other developers, if it was them making a Silent Hill game, I'd just be like, all right, whatever. It frustrates me to no end that like an actively harmful, shitty developer is basically having their dreams come true. Like
Yeah,
that is depressing.
like a very good point that you bring up. It's one thing to have Freddy Krueger be a guest in the Mortal Kombat series and like do his whole gag there. It is another to then take a reboot attempt at Nightmare on Elm Street and then go, oh, by the way, I guess he's also like he's also got a history of sexual assault to him, or like just adding an extra crinkle that's like, man, this was a fun character, and now like I don't appreciate that this is part of the backstory.
Right.
Taking something very tangible
No,
for
that makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, because it sucks. Because ultimately, again, like by the end of that whole series, fucking, you got the guy that's yelling bitch at you doing nightmare jujitsu and is like calling out Jason because he's, I guess, low key like a twink or something, or like just likes to be. He loves to be a brat. Freddy loves
Freddy's
to be a brat.
Yeah.
Freddy's big time brat, but like these are the kinds of things where there is a possibility for a lot of these themes that are consistent in Silent Hill. Well, consistent in what people remember of Silent Hill to just get like thrown to the wayside for whatever is going to come up now. Like, God, I don't know. I feel like PT has been both like a blessing and a curse for what the concept of a next Silent Hill could be in terms of just like a blessing for the way that you can create atmosphere and like set up. Where, full disclosure, I have still not seen any footage of PT because I know it'll scare the shit out of me at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I am a baby. I'm a big baby. No, I'm not gonna make a joke about that there. But but like there is a admiration for the way that you use your artifice to create that kind of an atmosphere, but then at the same time, like PT and Silent Hills have just been these nigh reachable peaks of like, this is the game that we want, this is the expected experience that we'll get whenever we get something that slaps Silent Hill on its name. In the same way that like there's those freaks that want that open world Pokemon game, like that unattainable concept that because you'll never get it, you'll just constantly be let down. But in this case with Bluebird, there's very much cause to be concerned where it's like, I'm not only going to be let down, but I'm going to be pissed off with the idea that this will be a game that tries to tell me that like the neuroses of previous protagonists might be bullshit, or that like like there's the high possibility of a thematic point where it's kind of just like, this is very much antithetical to what Silent Hill is about. And I wish Silent Hill fans the best. If you don't get a good game, then I hope that you let the series die a peaceful death rather than go out this way,
Totally. Totally. Well, how about you wrap this up by talking about one of the classics of game? You've been playing Sonic Adventure 2. How's that going?
Yes. Oh my god, dude. For Sonic's 30th birthday, I figured, man, shit's getting tough lately, and you know what I think about a lot nowadays? I think about the visual landscape of the Chow Garden. And I gotta go back, and I just picked it up on Steam, and oh my god. So, God, Sonic Adventure 2 is not a good game. I will be upfront about that. Like, it is janky, it is unpolished, it is, for all intents and purposes, not aged well. The cutscenes are minute by minute, where even though I am there reciting every line, I am cutting myself off concurrently because that's just the way that the localization worked. Just every line being cut off by itself for trying to fill in lip flaps. But, that there's a reason why I feel a lot of 3D platforming, if it's not focused on Mario, it has been crystallized and cemented in what Sonic Adventure 2 stood for. And it really, there is not a day where I don't think about Sonic Adventure 2 at this point. It's always going to be running around in my mind in some capacity. I would love to fucking grind on a rail with my soap shoes and just be able to hit a homing attack on a robot later. I would love to just get into my big robot and fire my blaster at every single enemy that's coming my way. The fucking Emerald segments are a little bit hit or miss, but I feel that it is hard for me to think about another game that carries such a specific crystallized aspect of what gaming potential was without also then just thinking about Sonic Adventure 1, because that is the other immediate concept I would think about. And I don't know, it's easy to chill out with Sonic Adventure 2. It's good that now I'm actively looking for the Chow keys so that every level I can just go to the Chow Garden and I can just hang out and fucking just actually figure out what I want to do with these motherfuckers, where I'm like, okay, I've got one that's going to be focused on flying and running, and I'll have another one that can do just pure power. And now that I have enough rings, let me go to the black market and get some fruits for everybody. Maybe I'll take one of them to school for the day and let them get to learn something. Like, I don't know, it's so comforting. I struggle to think about another game where even just thinking about it, I'm immediately put at ease. And, thank you, Sonic Adventure 2. I just hit Pumpkin Hill, and God, just beautiful soundtrack, beautiful. I can't not get excited when Cityscape and Metal Harbor come on. Happy birthday, Sonic.
Happy birthday. Folks, I started playing SMT4 Apocalypse.
This motherfucker.
Yeah.
This MF said, I don't want to get burnt out.
And then I just started doing it, yeah.
Wow.
Well, the good news is that I'm not feeling burnt out. I'm actually just really enjoying it. So
that's good.
Yeah.
Well, hey. Welcome to the pinnacle of when a JRPG series is good, where you're just like, oh, thank God, I can play the next one now.
Yeah. So the thing is, though, is that for this one, they've changed quite a bit. And I like most of it, but I also understand why people wouldn't like it. This definitely feels like a game that they wanted to be like the middle ground between normal SMT and Persona, where it's like, okay, there's a bunch of difficulty modes. There's not just like the 3 that you have normally. It's just like, here's like, it's very easy, normal, hard, very hard. Like, it's like, yeah, here's all that. The characters talk a lot more, which honestly was something that bothered me a little bit about SMT4, was just that like none of the characters are really like characters. They just kind of were there to exist, and I appreciate that they had a little bit more to this.
Yeah.
But it's also a little odd, just because in this, so I guess I will explain the plot of this game, because it is very strange, but I kind of like it. So the plot of SMT4 was very simple. It was just, you are this guy named Flynn who lives in this like very like it's like a cross between like ancient Japan, ancient Europe. Like, it is medieval but also has samurai stuff. And you are tasked with killing demons as a samurai. And eventually you go down onto the earth, and it turns out that you live on this like crust above the earth that is where the sun shines, and then underneath that is like Tokyo, the city, where there's just demons everywhere and people are just fighting to survive. And so the 3 endings you could take, basically, there's the law route, the chaos route, and the neutral route. Law route is just you team up with God, like Christian Bible God, and you wipe all the demons out, but by doing that, you also kill everybody in Tokyo. Chaos route is you team up with Lucifer, and you let all the demons out, and you kill everybody, and you let chaos reign. And then there's a neutral route where you don't team up with anybody, and you just do your own thing. So SMT Apocalypse is like kind of sort of in the neutral route, in that it's not like they straight up explain in the game. They go, this is an alternate history. This is not actually in the neutral route. This isn't actually in any of the routes from the original game. This is its own thing, but it's similar to the neutral route. Because yeah, Flynn is not teaming up with anyone. He's there to save humanity. He wants to fight against Lucifer and Merkaba and just defeat the demons and let humans live. So you play as this other just like character, this boy, and you and your like adoptive sister kind of character. It's like you basically got like adopted by her dad. And you go out there and you are a hunter, like you are fighting the demons. You're training to learn how to, summon demons and fight demons and all that. And the whole thing is that like Flynn is basically just seen as like the messiah. Like everyone's like, he's here to save us all, and he pretty much just is doing that. I don't know if there's any twists later. Don't tell me. But just so far from the game, it is just like Flynn is just a hero. He is just a really basic anime ass hero who's just going around saving everybody, and everyone loves him. And so that is basically how it is so far. I haven't gotten too far yet, but I'm enjoying what is there. They've expanded on a lot of the things that were in SMT4 and made them better in some ways, and also in some ways it's like, okay, yeah, you just wanted to make this easier. Like, they made it so it's a lot easier to talk to and negotiate with demons, like, if you try to talk to a demon enough times, eventually they're just like, yeah, we've talked enough, even if you have fucked up talking to me, I'm cool with you, I'll join you. When that was absolutely not the case before, you just had to keep fucking up and keep getting your ass kicked forever. They fixed the map, which thank God,
Hey.
it's just a normal map now. It's not horrible, it's normal. It's a lot smaller now, but that's fine. I'd rather have that than the bullshit that was in that original game. It definitely just like, to be extremely reductive, this is an SMT game for normies. It is not Persona. It is not that level, but it is very much like, okay, they sat down and they were like, all right, we're going to make this more palatable to people who aren't just going to bash their head against an SMT game. And that's fine. That's okay. I'm still having a good time. I'm sure if I really wanted to, I could bump up the difficulty, but I'm just playing it on normal. I'm having a good time. It's okay. Just, it's fine. It's good. I'm enjoying it. I can't wait to see how the story goes. Yeah, there you go. SMT4 Apocalypse. I'm gonna keep playing that. I'll talk more about it later.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I really like the idea that, it's good to have the option of choice in a narrative like SMT. I think they usually do excel at that.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't mind if they do want to just take that route and just say, like, what if we did just want to go a bit more in one direction and just provide a narrative in that sense? Because I think it's good to highlight necessarily like what exactly is available in terms of like, here's the game where this more or less could tell you what it's like to choose one of these options. And I think there are people that definitely don't mind that and would really appreciate that. Especially if it also just provides a lot of quality of life improvements, where it's just kind of like, yeah, here's everything that we've decided to fix, and also for the sake of spicing things up, we're just going to do our own spin for this round.
Yeah, I respect it as a thing. It is just the side story. It's not going to affect anything. Like, if you are against what they're trying to do, It's not like they're, like fucking over SMT4. They're not even like, they're straight up saying like, yeah, we're not like going back and rewriting this game. This is something that could happen, but it's not the canon. Nothing's canon. Whatever you chose is canon. It's up to you. And this is just another alternate thing that could happen. Um, so I respect that. I get it.
Yeah. Did they add any new demons at all, or is it just like very base same?
I think I've seen like one or two new ones so far, but I mean they've, there's a lot of new bosses. Like there's new characters that I've run into, um, in the fights that I've done, but like summonable demons so far. Well, I mean, bosses eventually become summonable. But like I've run into like one or two so far. Nothing crazy, but it's definitely been a little nicer. The thing that I do like is that they've mixed up like what demons are what level. So there were some demons that were like mid-game demons to even end-game demons that are just in the starting area that are like level 2, and that's cool. I like that they mixed that up. So, weaker demons in SMT4 are now stronger demons and vice versa. I
Yeah.
like that. It's it doesn't mean too much, but it's just it's nice for the variety. It's just like, oh, I remember killing you in one hit in the last game, and now you're level 40. Okay,
Yeah, that's a good way to spruce things up, just
yeah. This was
always fun.
this was very much a stopgap. This was very much okay. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get SMT5 out, for a while. Because yeah, this was a while ago now, and they've been working on SMT5 for a real long time. So this was definitely just them being like, yeah, we'll make a sequel to SMT4 with like a bunch of the you know all the things that we've already done, the art and the graphics and the combat and all that. It's the same. You're still smirking. It's all that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. All right, two last bits of news, and then we can do questions. All right.
All
Both of
right.
these are nicer bits of news here. So Nintendo have talked about the quality of life features that they are adding to the Skyward Sword HD version, which is still $60, which is too much money. But here are the things that they are adding. You are now going to be able to tell Fee, I don't want to hear it. There is an option that'll just be like, yeah, no, I don't need to hear it. It's just nice.
You're buying her silence permanently.
Yes. I think you can actually like map it to a button or something like that, so you could just like call her up if you need help, basically, which is how it should have been, honestly. Like usually characters like that are supposed to just be like, hey, help me out, instead of, oh, I'm just gonna pop up every 5 seconds. You could skip cutscenes, which I there were some people being very mean about this, and I feel kind of bad because I think the thing that people really love about Skyward Sword is the story. So everyone's just being like, finally, I can skip over all the stupid fucking cutscenes. Like, it's like, all right, then maybe you just shouldn't play this game. But if you're replaying the game and you just want to get through it, you can skip the cutscenes now. There are so it's going to be easier to find materials. They are making it so it's quicker to hear item descriptions. They're just streamlining the game a bit. The one thing that is still very shitty is that they are still locking the fast travel, like the teleport between the sky and the ground, behind an amiibo. But otherwise, it does sound like they are fixing a lot of issues that people had with Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I see a lot of ire that Skyward Sword gets, and I come at this from the perspective of someone that was trying to still play games at a point where a lot of other life stuff was coming my way, and still had games in my peripheral, but it was definitely like, do I want to go through more Skyward Sword, or do I want to go hang out with my friends after school? I think I'll go hang out with my friends after school. And that is not a knock against Skyward Sword.
Mm-hmm.
More so just like by the time that things were definitely delving into enticing stuff, like the last that I had played of it was, I think, right before I got to meet like the dragons, which for the longest time I didn't even know were a thing until I saw some other like later gameplay footage, and I'm like, oh, okay. Or like getting further into the narrative from a perspective where you were gonna have that bigger jump in and you were getting to explore more of these areas, but at the same time I get it from a gameplay perspective where it did feel limited. It did feel very, frustrating in a way where there was, I think, a lot of advertising focus on freedom, specifically with the motion control gimmick, and that lent itself to, I think, a very conflicted feel between what the game was trying to convey as its freedom and then the narrative, which was, very focused in on the narrative in a way where if you weren't buying into the story, then I could see it being an issue where it's kind of just like, where am I going? Why do I need to do this? Why am I trying to take care of this as I awkwardly flail around my Wii remote to try
Mm-hmm.
and get to the next temple and collect the next soul drops and do a lot of task work for the sake of saying that I'm doing a task.
Mm-hmm.
But if anything, this feels like a way to just shave off a lot of time for speedrunners, and
Yeah.
would love to see what those times are going to look like in
Sure.
the next month.
Yeah. And our last bit of news here is a little something for the real heads out there. Um, AI The Somnium Files is getting a sequel. I'm not 100% sure if it's a sequel because Uchikoshi kind of said that it's not 100%. Like you don't actually have to know the original to play this one, but it is a new AI The Somnium Files game in which you are playing as Mizuki. She is a special agent now. Mizuki from AI Somnium Files. If you remember, the young powerful girl in the original game who fucking beats the shit out of everyone with a pipe. She's got like a fucking electro pipe in this game, and also she has teamed up with Aiba. If you recall, also from AI, she was the eyeball computer in the protagonist Date's eye, and now she is in Mizuki's eye. So who knows exactly how that went down? But I love Aiba, and we all love Mizuki here too. Mizuki's a great character, and I'm just super stoked about this. This is gonna be really cool. It's coming spring 2022, and yeah, here's the plot synopsis here. 6 years ago, the right half of a corpse is discovered under mysterious circumstances. The left half was never found until 6 years later, when it was discovered completely fresh with no signs of decay, as though the victim was alive until recently. So, now you have to go solve the half-body serial killings. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Apparently Uchikoshi is not directly working on this. He is like supervising, but you know, it's still seems like it's gonna be really cool. I am looking forward to this game.
Yeah, check it, catch it out.
Yeah.
Check it and catch it out. Just like I said, check it out and catch it. Again, like in my recent online adventures, I've come to realize people really love the Zero Escape the Uchikochi games, like this new trend of visual novel mystery and visual novel killing game, for lack of a better term,
Right.
between like this and the Danganronpa stuff. And it's cool to just see continuations of these projects in some way or another. And again, like Somnium Files, I just hear a lot of great things about, and I love when in that continual efforts to try and like make games art and to have that debate. It's cool that you can at least like go to a game where you can just point to the script and be like, this rules. Like this is just a very well done script. So good on them.
Yeah. All
That's
right.
cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's run through a few questions here. Let's see here. If you want to send in a question, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Get 2 separate Digimon questions this week.
Wow.
So let's go through both of them here. First off is from Anonymous, who asks, which Digimon would be the best at negotiating nuclear disarmament? I'd say Gigimon, because he's like the leader of the Digimon village, so he would be like, alright everybody calm down, we gotta quit this shit, and everyone would be like, okay.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. When I wouldn't disagree with that. Maybe trying to think about wise Digimon, and yeah, I don't know. Get Terriermon in there. Just do it. Get Terriermon in there.
Okay. Digimon and Terriermon, both of them teaming up.
Yeah.
Shulas asks, this might be a question for the anime podcast, but luckily you got 2 people from the anime podcast, so it works.
Hey.
A lot of people in the Discord have been getting into the Digimon card game. It's true. You're also talking to somebody who is getting into the Digimon card game. And the series has been getting more attention. Which Digimon would you want your partner to be, and what would be its final evolution? Ooh.
Real talk, I'm Davis. Fucking V. Like, I love Vmon, and I would just want to focus on the actual, like, egg evolutions, but also if I could find my Ken who also would have his Wormmon and we just do the fucking dumb DNA digivolutions, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But mainly, like, I Flame Dramon is just the coolest guy to me. The amount of times I like rewound my fucking VHS tape of like the first 2 episodes of Digimon Adventure 2 just to watch like the climax of that first episode.
It's fucking sick.
It's cool.
It's
rocks.
real cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. I'd hang out with Vmon, and I would mainly just have him be Flame Dramon whenever he has to like get into action.
Okay. So but you'd want to eventually be like, all right, yeah, we can get this Imperial Dramon up in here if you need to.
Yeah, if we can get Imperial Dramon, fucking fuck it up, you know. Maybe I will take the burden of both Vmon and Wormmon. It'd be like the Cyber Sleuth lady that has both fucking Agumon and Gabumon.
And then they have the fucking coolest cutscene ever when they DNA digivolve to Omnimon and she's straight up doing the fucking gunbuster pose. It's so good. It's so good. That game whips ass.
Listen, it's on sale right now. I will consider it once I look at my financial situations again.
Totally.
Because I was unfair to Cyber Sleuth 1.
Yeah, I would absolutely recommend you give it another go when you can, because it is cool. It is very fun. What would be mine? I mean,
So how fast would your Leomon die?
Immediately, as it should. No, so I am actually playing a Vmon deck now. That is the deck that I run. But I am playing the Vmon deck that is not meta, because I guess Imperial Dramon is actually pretty good right now. But I'm playing Ulforce Vdramon, which is Ulforce is I think from like a manga or something like that. I think like an alternate universe version of Tai has a Vmon that turns into Ulforce Vmon or Vdramon.
This dude's pretty cool. Oh, this dude rocks.
Yeah, he fucking rocks.
Yo,
I wouldn't say that I would have that though, because honestly, the deck that I want to run the most is I want to make a Diaboromon deck. Especially because there's the guy in Digimon Cyber Sleuth who has the fucking Diaboromon line, and he's not even necessarily a villain. So that's fucking sick. I like the idea of having like a Digimon that's normally evil and then just using it for good. That's what I want. You know, it's the sort of thing where like they're always like, "Oh, Pokemon aren't evil. It's the person using them." I'm gonna say the same thing for Digimon. You know, I'd team up with fucking Diaboromon or whatever else. I'd have a Devimon. How about that? That'd be cool. I'd be like, yeah, I got Devimon. He's fucking chill. He's not gonna do anything bad. We're just hanging out, having a good time. That's what I would want.
Fucking I'll hang out with Beelzemon.
Yeah, Yezuma's fucking cool.
Yeah, Beelzemon whips. The second runner up would definitely be Guilmon because you know Dukemon's cool.
Oh yeah. Digimon. It's cool.
Yeah.
We got a question here. Oh, sorry, go.
No, I was just saying I made a joke about we're gonna talk about Digimon on the podcast if it's the two of us, and lo and behold,
We fucking did. Yeah. Cause it's great.
that's right.
All right. So Angie sent in a question, and she asks: Ever since I saw Naviru, the Phaline from Monster Hunter Stories, I did not like him. He looks like a pervert. I won't elaborate on that because I can't. He just does to me. I'm just gonna stop you and say he does look like a pervert. You're right.
Yep.
Who are some of your favorite and least favorite video game mascots, like Cappy or Paimon? Those types of characters.
Ooh, okay.
I am like genetically inclined to love these creatures. I may be a little biased because it runs in my fucking blood that I love video game mascot characters. Like people talk a lot of shit about Teddy from Persona 4, and like I get it. I fucking get it. I know he's a little fucking creepo sometimes, but I still love the bastard. I'm sorry. I still love Teddy, you know. I just love those kinds of characters. So that's my kind of thing. Definitely not my favorite.
Yeah. Shit. I can't immediately think of a mascot character that I'm not like that I'm outright vile against legitimately
Mm-hmm.
rather than like as a joke. Like it's fun to poke fun at Paimon. Uh like it is never any actual ill will, but the fact
Mm-hmm.
that in the game you can just say like, yeah, she's rations.
Mm-hmm.
Like they know what they're doing there. Bien Fu in Berseria has also been fun just because it's like, yeah, he's a little dipshit. Seeing a little dipshit get ridiculed and belittled, but then any chance for him to be like redeemed is also like, oh no, you're like also garbage, but not like full on garbage. It's like,
Right.
bro, why are all of the books that you own like pickup artist books? What are you
Jesus.
doing? In one of the skits, Lafayette is like trying to strike up a conversation, and it's kind of just like, you want to check out all my books? I'm not doing a good Bien Fu impersonation, but that's basically it. And yeah, it's just like, sir, why do you have this inappropriate material? I would rather you didn't. Well, I guess Mario's a mascot character in some capacity.
I mean, I feel like mine's cheating a little bit, but definitely Monokuma. Monokuma's the best one ever. Like such a legit funny great character that I mean drives the whole game, but is also just like a fucking iconic character all around. I love Monokuma.
Yeah. Like I guess I could say Gex, but that's also like partially a joke. Like I'm thinking now, like let me look at like what are considered the worst video game mascot, or like the mascot characters where it's like Arrow the Acrobat, which yeah, sure, he looks like shit, but I don't know. Like oh god, it is hard for me to think about a mascot character outside of like Naviru, because yeah, Naviru looks like a bastard, and I would rather him get away from the monsties and the cute little hunter that you make.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking like The Yokai and Yokai Watch also seem fine. Like Whisper seems like pretty dope.
Everyone loves Jibanyan. I like Jibanyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hang out with Jibanyan.
Yeah, me too.
So, there you have it. Can't think of a bad mascot character outside of Naviru. Oh, he has fingers. Oh, that sucks. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't notice that he had fingers. Oh, I want to feed you to a Rathalos so bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
No. Bad. Get him out of here.
Bad. Let's see here. Anonymous asks, "It's 6 months from now. You go over to a friend's house. You're both definitely immunized against all COVID variants." And they say, "Let's game," while pulling out an Intellivision Amico. What you doing, gamers?
Evaluating my life choices that made me assume that a friend of mine would actively own the Intellivision Amico.
I mean, I feel like if I'm hanging out with somebody who's like, "Hey, I got this stupid ass thing," that's one thing. If I'm just like, "Hey, I stumbled across this dumbass thing. I didn't pay too much for it. Let's fuck around with it for a bit." That's one thing. But if they're like, "Oh man, this is the pinnacle of gaming," I would, be like, "All right, can I just like bring my Switch over or something? We could play it later." Like I would want to like be a little nicer and be like, "Yeah, you know what? I'll let you borrow some stuff that I got. This is I don't want to leave you like this." That would be my response.
Yeah. God, just the horror of someone saying, "Hey, come to my house. I bought this over the pandemic."
Like, I keep forgetting that the thing is $250. So
Literally, in the last year, I probably know more people that bought a Switch out of impulse because Animal Crossing came out, and they're like, "Ugh, fine. I guess if I'm not spending money on going to the bar, then like I have more cash on me than I assumed."
yeah, like I bet it's I wouldn't know off the top of my head, but I bet you could probably get like a used PS4 for not that much even. Like just get a PS4 if you don't have something. Like
Oh,
come on.
probably. Hell yeah.
Like just don't do it. Don't do it. Even for the jokes, don't do it. But I mean, I don't know. Like maybe someday that thing is going to be like the Ouya, and it's going to be like $10 at Target. That'll be the day you pick it up, just so you could be like, "Yeah, I have an Amico that like complete in box. That's funny." But
If you have the money for an Amico, you could do another funny prank and give that money to me instead. I think that'd be a pretty good prank.
it would be really funny. Yeah, that would be really
Yeah.
hilarious. Mhm.
And I'd be like, "Wow, look at this. What a joke. What a fun goof.
You got me.
Good times were had by all."
Yeah. The Mighty Mighty Boss Jones asks, "What is the funniest off-brand soda name?"
I'm thinking about Mr. Peter.
Mr. P. At the public stores, in Florida, our Dr. Pepper knockoff is Dr. Thunder.
Oh, you got Dr. Thunder?
We
Hell
got
yeah.
Dr. Thunder. That's the good one. I'd say
God, I gotta think.
that's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm thinking about Mountain Dew knockoffs because I never hear enough about Mountain Dew knockoffs. I feel because you have fucking like I'm trying to think about what exactly would be the thing for that. I guess apparently some of these include Mountain Holler, Mountain Moondrops, Mountain Shoutin', Mountain Explosion, Mountain Chill, Mountain Yeller, Hillbilly Holler, just hee haw, Mountain Shower, Kickapoo, Joy Juice, Fountain Mist. I know Fago has Moon Mist, which is very like I appreciate when a soda is trying to go for the vibe more than the immediate flavor. Because that's definitely someone that's picking up on advertising and realizing we don't know shit about what the actual flavor of this is supposed to be. Maybe it's like a peppery cola, or maybe it's like a lemon lime thing, but we got to make a good name for it.
Mm-hmm.
But also, yeah, just Mr. Peter's good. Shout out to Dr. Oopsie.
Shout out to Dr. Bob and Cat
Dr.
Cot
Bob.
and everything else that was in the Fucked Up in the Crib video, because that is one of the best videos of all time, best songs of all time.
Is there a knockoff Calpico?
I don't know. Last question here. Oh.
Yeah. No, go for it.
Last question here. From Harlequin Wheels, who asks, which video game character would get banned off of YouTube fastest if they were a VTuber? I'm just gonna lay down 3 ground rules. Okay? No Travis Touchdown, no Duke Nukem, no Gex.
Damn, you got my top 3 so quick.
That was to limit me as well. So
the Floygan brothers would try and be funny, and they would just get very immediately canceled.
I could see that.
The goading of Moigel Floygan would definitely run a lot of people away and just feel very like disheartening.
Here's my question, which I think the thing is that I think someone would just be like accidentally having an international incident, probably by like claiming that Taiwan is a country or something. I'm trying to think of it, which video game character would fuck up in that direction, because that seems like the easiest way to get fired on off of VTube.
Well, because that's the thing. I know a Yakko Warner VTuber would get caught with that.
That is true.
Countries of the world bit.
Yeah, he would
but
do that
video
bit.
Game, yeah. Almost anyone from the 90s, because that's just part of the map that they know.
Yeah.
To that extent. But
I think Princess Daisy would be. She'd be a good VTuber, but I think she'd also be very. She wouldn't stand up for any shit. So maybe that would be one of those things where like maybe some people would be like, nah, fuck that. We're not gonna. We won't stan an abrasive queen, even though they should.
They should.
She's just living her fucking life.
Exactly. Who do you think would have an audio DSP moment? Just left the mic on and it's all just going off.
Again, that top 3 that I listed would be the 3. Yeah. So
I'm coming.
Oh god, my camera's still on. Oh fuck. God. I'm just like glancing up. I mean, you know, if we're fucking we did just talk about Teddy. I could see I could see Teddy doing like having his like bear character VTuber.
I'm very sorry about the accusations that I claimed. God, what video game character gets canceled for their Minecraft content?
Surprisingly, Minecraft Steve himself.
Wow, just really not sure how to make use of his own platform.
No.
Unfortunate.
Well, I think that should do it, folks. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. If you want to support us, there are plenty of ways to do it. You can go to @VGCC on Twitter. You can go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. Or you can find us on Facebook or YouTube, but just typing us in, Video Game Choo Choo, on the search bar there. You can follow us on there. That'll support us in all kinds of ways in that way. We have our Discord server. You type that in the gamezone.zone into your web browser, and it'll bring you straight there. You can hang out with us in there. We watch anime all the time, play games all the time. We just do all kinds of dumb shit. It's great. It's a great time. We also have our Patreon. If you want to support us monetarily, it's patreon.com/VGCC. That helps us out the most, I mean, and anything helps. Just spreading the word, retweeting our articles, sharing stuff that we post, that helps. But if you give us just that $3 a month, it does help us in buying games, buying equipment, buying site upgrades. All that stuff does go directly back into the site. None of that is being, I'm not using that money. I mean, I guess technically I did, because I did use it to buy Mario Golf, but it is the site's money. So that is what that's going to. But if you do subscribe to that, we do have some bonuses. You'll get episodes of Unlimited Railworks a whole week early. We just did the summer anime season preview, and Maverick, I think we can both agree that it was pretty dire.
Your best option for summer 2021 is to go back and catch up on the stuff you missed in spring 2021.
Yeah, hey, Odd Taxi's really fucking good. You should watch Odd Taxi.
Megalobox, if you like the first one, it's got a second season. Really good.
Yeah, Megalobox is there. And we will actually be talking about that this coming week. So you'll want to hop on that Patreon so you can listen to us talking about the end of the old season and the beginning of the new.
Yep.
And also Redline. We're going to be watching Redline. So there you go.
That's right. If you liked to hear me talk about a movie I was like about, get ready to hear me talk about a movie that I am over the moon about.
Oh yeah. There you go. And also, I'm trying to think if I forgot anything. Thank you to Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for a theme song Crush off of the album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more of their stuff, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com or magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. We just talked about VTubers. They had, before she was a VTuber, that Neanners did vocals on Magic Circuit music. So there you go. Something to think about. A little tying it back. But Maverick, where can people find you?
Ordinarily, people can find me on Twitter over at MavSplaniamania. That's at MavSplaniamania. At the moment, as I'm still looking for employment that requires me to be a teacher and a front-facing person to students, I figured that I should probably lock that so I don't have to blast my cash every time that I have an interview. And, unfortunate, but also you get to hear me talk shit. So just, I'll keep an eye on my follower requests should you choose to hear more about what I'm spitting, which is mainly off the dome and 50-50 on whether it's off the goop.
Of course. And of course, you can follow me at JOHN_MICHONSKI. That's where you'll find me, John. And that's pretty much where I am. So just go ahead and follow me there. And I want to thank you again for listening. We'll be back next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.